Don, why? Explain to me why you're bringing in Cade McNamara on a 2-point play. Why? Why, Don? Why? If I had you here, I'd take your shoulders and shake you. Why? Tell me. Explain that to me.
Well, the one thing we know, at that point, Michigan State is not at all concerned about any kind of play involving Cade as a runner.
Correct. And that was, by the way, that was right after Sullivan made an unbelievable play where he grabs a high snap and finds his way into the end zone on a goal line situation. Oh, by the way, it was a critical down. I just don't.
Yeah, I was amazed that it. First off, it took a really good set of hands to even handle the snap. And once he got that done, he had the presence of mind to still end up running the direction he was supposed to run. It was supposed to be play action left, roll right, with the tight end coming across the formation to be his blocker. So Sully went high in the air to fill the snap and then whirled around. And it had the same effect, of course. It was a good misdirection. It almost looked like that was supposed to be the way the play was executed, but it wasn't. Sully just made a nice reaction to a difficult situation.
So again, why would you bring Cade in on a 2-point play? You have one chance to get into the end zone on a very important 2-point play to cut it to a field goal. Why are you bringing in a statue quarterback who, hey, he ran for like 4 yards tonight. That's the first time I've seen him run for anything positive since week 1. Why are you bringing him in that situation?
You say bringing him in.
Well, why is he in the game at that point? Why is he in the game? Why is it not Sullivan?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Corey. Is that immediately after Sully's touchdown?
No, it was right after Caleb Johnson.
After Caleb Johnson.
After Caleb's. Well, I was going to say that's one reason that we had Cade on the field is he was on the field on the previous snap. In other words, maybe if Sully, maybe we didn't need to go for 2 after Sully's touchdown, maybe Sully would have been on the field for the 2-point play.
What does that have to do with anything?
No, my point is if he was on the field on the previous play, maybe they would have simply left him out there.
But why would okay, regardless, why wouldn't you get the right guys on the field? Drew Stevens isn't on the play prior to his extra points, but he still comes onto the field for the PAT. Explain that.
I think we're trying to find explanations for something that has no explaining.
Tom, I guess I'll ask the question that Corey's already posed. A 2-point play, a critical 2-point play at the time.
I asked about it.
Okay, Postgame. And what was the response?
I asked him, I said, you had Cade in there. You've used Sullivan in those goal line situations. And basically he said the play they had called was better for Cade.
Well, then don't call that play. Call a better play. That's my answer. Sorry, Don, go ahead.
Yeah. But I did ask that question in the post game because I was curious too why Brendan Sullivan was not in there, and that was the answer he gave me.
I would like to know the logic behind that, Tom, though, because when Brendan is brought in for basically every goal line situation to this point, you have one chance, one play, your best play available, and you bring in somebody who's never in on goal line situations. That defies logic. I'm just saying.
I thought it was a strange decision, given that they've kind of committed themselves to Sullivan inside the 5, and why not just use him inside the 5 on a 2-point play? It's not like you have to rush him in because it's just a 2-point play. It's you can kind of just run it, and it was.
Look at it this way: I believe Sully's touchdown was on 3rd and goal at the 2. If I'm not mistaken. Does that sound right? 3rd and goal at the 2 is a lot like a 2-point play.
Yeah,
it almost is a 2-point play. Right?
Yeah, it was. Correct. It was weird. It just the whole night was weird, guys. It just the tackling just befuddled me. It seemed like they had not seen a mobile quarterback like Childs, and it kind of had them on their heels the whole night, where they just couldn't commit to tackling people. Higgins made a great play in knocking the pass down, but it was more, I think, because he was afraid to commit to try and go right at the kid because he thought he might get dusted. I don't know how many times we had some Iowa players grasping at air tonight and tackling,
Right.
and that just doesn't happen. It's just completely uncharacteristic, and it's not just because Castro was having. No, it didn't. Kirk even said, I even asked him that. I said, does Mr. Castro impact things? And he was like, we're not. Basically, we're not making that excuse.
I was absolutely happy we tried for 2 in that position, but if it wasn't a 2-point conversion, if it was, let's say, 1st and goal on the 2, Sullivan's in there. Why wasn't he in there?
It's a fair question to ask. Obviously, if Sullivan's in there for the 2-point play, you have to worry also about the quarterback being a ball carrier. One more thing to worry about if you're trying to defend that 2-point play. You've also heard me say, I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I would spend at least 2 or 3 hours in preparation for the game, figuring out what the 2-point plays are going to be. And obviously, in a lot of games, you never run a 2-point play. But we always had 3 2-point plays ready to go for the game. And just to give you an idea of what else we did, each of those quarterbacks, I gave them a list of the 2-point plays, and I asked them to put them in the order in which they felt comfortable running those plays, which meant if Cade was in the game, I would look at the order in which Cade preferred the plays. If Sully was in the game, I'd look at the order in which Sully preferred the plays. In other words, I'd fit the 2-point play to the quarterback, unless I really felt that they were wrong with their assessment. But typically, the order in which they liked the plays, it related directly to their ability. That makes sense, right? They're more comfortable running plays that they think they are physically capable of running. So that gave us a better chance to be in the right 2-point call, because we could even tie it into individual quarterback that happened to be in the game at that moment.